everyone. Whoever's here. I don't see anybody yet. Wait. On live chat, sure, it might help. Okay. Anyhow, hi Amy, long time no see.
Hi, Sherry. Yeah, long time.
It's only been a week.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You too. I had a good time last. What day did we do it? Sunday, last Sunday night.
Yeah, that was
And,
fun.
I was I was quite overwhelmed with some of the folks stuff. It was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
like I didn't expect y'all to, be so effusive in your praise. It was just like, yeah, hey, she's good. That would have been good.
Lots of love.
Hi, Debbie.
Yeah, hi,
We got
Debbie.
somebody in the chat. Yay. And probably a few more will show up shortly because I know Lisa's still alive right now. And um, Heather just went live and probably a couple other people. So there's
Yeah.
so many readers now that it's hard to actually be able to go live and have nobody else on at the same time unless you do it in the middle of the night. And then you're
Yeah.
competing with somebody in Australia or England or something that's on. So I finally just said, screw it. I'll just do it when I'm available and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I know it's like last night there were two lives. I think there was one with Allie and then one with, I can't remember her name, somebody else. Anyway, I'm like you, I hopped. I kind of was like, hey, everybody. And then I went to the next live, like, hey, everybody. To show support, but it is hard. It's hard to like watch. You can't watch two at the same time unless you have two different
So I
phones.
have been known to have 4 or 5 people's channels up and on all at the same time, just for like long enough for the algorithm to kick in for them and
Yeah.
say hello and give a like, and then I got to go anyway. Especially during the day when I'm at work. Uh, I
Mhm.
mean, I tend to just put it on and let it run, and I keep an earbud in so I can kind of halfway listen during the daytime. But usually I'm in and out of the office, so a lot of times I don't really get a chance to really listen to what everybody's talking about or keep up a
Yeah.
chat. Even when I go to lunch, I try to do it, but then I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to like see on my phone to type to chat. It's like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Um, I'm not very good at doing that part, so I can't see anything. But anyway,
And
yeah, I
how's
did a
your
live with Heather this morning. We covered the color um, blue, like you can't tell, is my favorite color. And so we discussed the color of cobalt blue.
hmm,
I learned all kinds of interesting stuff about it. I didn't even realize it's a sea glass.
hmm,
It's made in the oceans from the sands and stuff. And you have cobalt, you have cornflower, and you have um, a really light kind of a pale blue sea glass. I forget what they call that one. But it was
hmm.
very interesting, all the stuff I had looked up on it. So we had us a good, let's see. Yeah, I got it, Pegasus. Go ahead and, if you want to add to the question, we're going to hold off on them right now. I'm not answering any questions, but yeah, I got it. If you want to add to the question, then I can, oh, I see you already did that. Never mind. You're a step ahead of me. Okay, and then that way I've got them back to back and I can kind of, I got them, don't worry. We're going to sit and chit chat, let a few people get here, and then we'll take some questions. Y'all have political questions, personal questions, whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
I
good
go
too.
with either or both.
Yeah, I like to do both too because it's always politically charged. There's always something to talk about, and but it's nice to answer the personal too. Hi, Hershey.
Hi, Hershey. Um, you're now a moderator, Hershey.
Yay.
You're almost always here, so it's like, okay, well, I need to. Um, and I know you got a channel and everything, so you know what you're doing. So you're a moderator now. Um, I'm not as gung ho with it as Lisa is. Spirit Intuitive. Everybody on her channel, when you go in when she does a live,
Yeah.
everybody's blue. You know, and if
I've noticed that
somebody
before.
pops in,
Yeah.
that's not um, a moderator, will start hollering out gray alert, and she'll go in and find them and then make them blue. So everybody's a moderator. It's like they would have to be crazy to come to this channel. There's nothing but moderators on her station, on her channel. So
I've heard about the guy, or I guess it's a guy, Tarot Destroyer. I know I've never seen him, but I've heard about him going on people's channels.
oh, he has struck. Yes, I've had him on. Um, when I set up my chat for the show, and I kind of don't like doing it because it's, I don't know, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, but it
Yeah.
does help in kind of holding back some of the trolls. Is I put
Mhm.
in, you have to be a subscriber in order to chat.
Mhm.
But for like 5 minutes, you have to be a subscriber for 5 minutes. And if you can
Yeah.
wait 5 minutes, then you can put something in there. Hyper at. Um, so, but yeah,
Is
we
it weird?
and then I also sometimes when it's gotten really bad, I've had to go in and put it on delayed responses. So like
Mm.
you have to set it where it's 30 or 60 seconds when someone posts before they can post again. I
All
don't
right.
do that, but a few times when Tarot Destroyer has shown up, I've had to go in and do that just to try to, because it's a bot. It's not a person. I mean, it's something that's set up automated because sooner hide it than it's back up, right back up again. And
Oh.
YouTube is getting ready to um, YouTube is getting ready to change a lot of the rules with
Hmm.
like ads and all that, where they are going to automatically be able to place ads in the middle of your stream while you're
Nice.
streaming, or before or after your show. I'm like, I don't want that. I mean, it's bad enough getting people bitch about it on the replays and like,
The
hey,
last time yeah, they do, they make those changes, and then some people that are very popular and they make a good income, they get kicked out, like their whole channel dies.
oh
So
yeah,
that
I mean,
worries
I have
me.
it set up on my replay for advertisements to roll because you get a percent
Yeah.
in minuscule amount. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you've got 500,000 subscribers, you're not really making any. I made like under $1.75 the first month
Yeah.
that
It's
I
crazy.
ran the ads. It was like, yeah, I'm rolling in it now. So you don't make a lot of money until you really get up there.
Yeah.
Um, but they're changing some things around, and um, we won't be able to have as much control over what kind of ads that we want on our channel. It's just what plays. There's going to be a lot of pushback on that because there's a lot of people on kind of both sides of the aisle that doesn't
Hmm.
want the other side showing ads. So um,
Yeah.
they're gonna, yeah, that's probably not gonna last because they're gonna get a lot of pushback on that. And
I agree.
let's see
It's
what.
well, but their whole content is from people, uploading videos. So we are like the source. So to kill us off, it's kind of ridiculous. They won't have any
Yeah,
content. People.
um, I don't know, Pegasus. I mean, Bo, he's got a really big following.
Mm.
I'm sure he makes a pretty penny. I mean, you start having that many subscribers, and if you get, let's say you have 100,000 subscribers, and half of them are members that pay, say, $4.99 or $5.99 a month. That's a fairly decent income, even with YouTube keeping 40%, 45%, whatever it is. Um, but I mean, when you're, down at my level, I can't seem to hit 1,500 to save my soul. It's like I didn't even realize I'd gone over 1,400 until school started back up.
Hmm.
And my student worker there, her first day in, she came to the office to tell me she was there, and she's like, Miss Sherry, did you know you're over 1,400 subscribers? And I went, I am. And she said, you don't look. I said, no, it makes me crazy. I don't look. I said, because then I started obsessing about it. Well, why did it go up to? Why did it go down 30?
Yeah.
It'll go up and down, and of course we did find out that if you put other people's channels in the chat, like the moderators are the ones that can put the channels in for people to click on. If you put, say, Hershey's a moderator and she sees Perrette in here, Perrette has a channel, and she puts Perrette's channel in there for people to go and click on it and subscribe, which is perfectly fine for me. I've always promoted that. If you got a channel, put it in there. If you're not a moderator, let a moderator know and they'll put it in there. But we just found out that if you're not a guest on the show, then somebody can click on that link and subscribe to your channel. If it's just, a channel that's from somebody that's just in chat. But after 2 or 3 days, YouTube will unsubscribe you. So you have to go back and resubscribe to that channel. And so that's something that we just found out like this past week. And I know several of the readers were fairly ticked off about it. So, I mean, I know I was like, I was at right after I went over 1,000 and I was moving up towards 1,100. And all of a sudden I lost like 40 something subscribers overnight.
Jeez.
Like, how the hell did that happen? I think that was what it was it was people that were just subscribing through somebody else's channel that saw my name in the chat and they subscribed, and then YouTube turned around and unsubscribed everybody. Plus they have algorithms that kind of I don't know, their algorithms are weird. It's like if you come in and chat and you're interactive in the chat, that's great. But if you want it to really help the person's channel, whoever's hosting the show, then you have to go back in after the show is over and leave a comment. And that's boosted on the algorithm, which will push it out more.
Wow.
That's a stupid rule. I mean,
what is
they're already chatting, they're already interactive. Why should someone have to go back in after the fact? So I tell people, go in, leave an emoji or a thumbs up or something, and leave it at that, and don't worry about it. So, but I got you, Perrette. I got you, Star, darling. So yeah, if y'all want a political question asked, you want a personal question answered, not asked, answered, then okay, Hershey, I'll see you in a minute then. What was I saying? Oh, I forgot. It went right out my brain. Oh well, if it's important, it'll come back.
I'm the same way. It might have been about the algorithms, but what's funny about algorithms is that you know how like you see somebody, especially someone who's probably early 20s, they all know the hashtags to put in to work with the algorithms. I mean, I don't know, like to me it's hit and miss, but they literally, I think they go and they copy paste all those hashtags and put them on their videos. Yeah, it's crazy.
Perrette, I got your question, darling. Just Preferably post it all in caps so that I can see it, because otherwise it'll zip right by me and I won't notice. Um,
Yeah.
but but just put your question in there, whatever kind of question you want us to answer, and we're your girls will take care of it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
ready.
trying to give a few minutes for a few more people to get in here, but yeah, the algorithm thing is weird. That's what it was we were talking about. It's just weird. Um, so learning as we go. That's the best I can do. We're learning as we go. Um, so
There was who
and
was it? Was it you know Black Cat Tarot? Do you know who she is? She has the
yeah, she posted something on her community
that's
tab about it. That
yeah.
was thank you. That was mail delivery. Um, she posted something on her community tab. It was I was like,
Yeah.
right on, man. She's been out for a while too.
Yeah.
She got, I guess, had some kind of setback or something with her injury, and
Hmm.
I know before she kind of disappeared, she was fighting being sick for a while there. It was like it was really hit or miss whenever she was on, how long she could stay or if she even showed up. And I've been worried about her, but I didn't have her email address. I couldn't find it. So
Yeah, it does feel like a rough time for her, like last couple of years. But she
yeah,
said, didn't she say in her post, she said something about how YouTube will literally erase words. So, like, they'll dub out a word that they don't like. It's like,
yeah.
what about erasing?
There are certain keywords that I know that they will ding you for. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you talk about the virus
Mm-hmm.
by its official name, your channel can get dinged for that if it picks it up.
Yeah.
Um, why that is, I don't know. I think I think what they are trying to do, as I've read through it, is they're trying to kind of cut down on the amount of misinformation that gets put out on stuff. But in the process of trying to deal with that, instead of hiring a crew that just goes through and looks through something that dings on the algorithm, they
Mm-hmm.
just automatically do a copyright thing. Um,
Yeah, I think
Now
I
I've had
just,
a few copyright claims
me
on
too.
music, no strikes, just claims, which means that if I left it in, if I left that piece of music in, or if I kept my show as enabling to for super chats and stuff, they could take like half my money, because
Yeah.
they supposedly
Oh,
have a copyright on it.
I
Um,
think it's all AI now. That's what, when you were saying that, I just got it's AI, and it's just as they scan everything, and the AI just gets
yeah,
busy, and yeah.
Chat GPT. I know some people. Um, I saw a young man on Instagram who just kind of got cards and just he's kind of playing with it. He was interested in it. And he would like shuffle and then he would draw three cards and then he would put the three cards into Chat GPT, which would then spit out a reading for him,
Huh.
what those three cards together meant. And I went, well, that's cheating. I mean,
Yeah. You have to do
yeah,
it the
you're
hard way
right.
and look it up like we do.
Yeah, I mean, there is Pegasus. You're right. There's a lot of hate videos out there,
I
a
agree.
lot of conspiracy. I mean, I run a thing across the bottom saying for entertainment purposes only, just so I don't have to hear it. A
Uh-huh.
couple of times, like I said, I've had a copyright claim hit me on music that I do in the promos. Um, but it was music that was billed as safe to use, no
Uh-huh.
copyrights on it. And so I used it to turn around and have somebody do a copyright claim on it. So there you go. It's kind of it's just a learning curve, I guess, for all of us as we go along. Um, so I know I'm trying to get to the point where I can grow it enough that I can at least match my salary so that when I retire in 5 years, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
losing that salary amount.
Mm-hmm.
I
That'd be
still got
great.
it coming in, to go with my Social Security. Um, so, but we'll see what happens.
Well,
Uh,
people will always want, reading. Psychics, tarot readers have always been around. I think the politics thing, that's, kind of a new thing. But as far as like guidance, that's always going to be around. So you'll always be needed. And
yeah,
that's,
and eventually it may go back to people only do readings in person. A
yeah.
lot of readers now that the big C is kind of done with, as far as to the degree that it was a few years ago. A
Hmm.
lot of them are starting to do fairs and stuff again.
Oh, cool.
So they're actually out there in person. And so that's kind of cool. Um, and, um, we just have to wait and see what happens. I've done in person personal readings, but it's only been for like friends or family. It
Yeah.
hasn't been to a complete stranger. Um, right now, if I do a private reading, I do it online. Usually, I do it with me and the client, you know, able to be face to face like you and I are, so that
Hmm.
I can kind of get some of that instant feedback, you know, um, from uh, from what I'm saying. I had a private reading today that um, went really well, and we actually went over the time, and she was kind of freaked out a little bit. We went over the time. I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
don't worry about it. I mean, unless I stop in the middle of a sentence and say time's up, unless you want to pay for more. It's like, no. Once we get going, we get going. I'm not that big yet. I'm not
I,
that big yet where I have to really be aware of my time. Uh,
yeah, that's cool. Well, when's the last time you've had a reading for you? Like, I haven't had one for, I mean, it's been months. But every reader needs to get a reading like every couple times a year, don't you think?
the last sort of kind of reading I had an Akashic reading done
Oh, cool.
right about 6 months ago or so.
Hmm.
I got that Pegasus, and I like kind of glanced at it and went through it a little bit, and then I've been so busy I haven't been able to get back to it. But yeah, you're I got you in my head. I know. Peg and I met. We actually got to meet in real life. Um, she was down here for family business, and so we got to spend an afternoon, go eat lunch, and spend the afternoon together, which was really great. And I got to meet one of her nephews, who was a very nice young man. And but it's I'm slowly kind of letting the word go out what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
just this past week, I had a faculty member stop in my office. He was dealing with some paperwork that was making him crazy, and and he said it was like the Friday before the Labor Day weekend, and he said, "Well, have a relaxing weekend, I hope, and get some rest." I said, "Oh no," I said, "I got like 3 live shows and a this and a that, the other." He went,
Yeah.
"Live shows? What do you
Oh,
mean
well,
live
is he
shows?"
a musician
I
or
said,
something?
"On YouTube." He says,
Oh,
"You're on YouTube?" I said, "Yeah, I have a channel,
wow.
content creator." "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I read oracle and tarot cards." You could have knocked him over with a feather. He was like, "Really? That's so cool." Well, what's your channel name again? He literally took his little notebook thingy out and wrote it down, and we started talking about stuff. And he was like, "Well, when you get ready to start going more in the business side of thing to start growing it," he's like, "Let me know and I'll help walk you through some of the business into stuff, taxes and
Cool.
CPAs and that kind of stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, cool," because I know nothing about that. So I'm a complete idiot when it comes to that.
So when
So
so when you had
yeah,
your Akashic yeah, Cajun food, yummy.
yeah. Let's see. Scott Allen, Spiritual Lessons, did an Akashic
Mm,
reading on me, and
cool.
then which was very interesting. And then I had what they call a star seed report
Oh
done
wow, that's I would love
based
one of
off of
those.
my birthday and stuff. And what it does is it traces you back to tell you like what star system and what group of ETs that you come from. And when I got the report back, and I go looking through it,
Mhm.
and that part of it was blank.
Hmm.
So I asked Lady, I said, "Well, why is it blank?" She said, "Well, you're from the before time."
Oh
What the hell does that mean? And she says, "You were before." And I said, "Before what?" She said, "Before everything." I said,
wow.
"Everything what?" She said, "Before the universes were created, you were in
You're like one of the
existence."
council that helped create the universe.
And that somebody else piped up and said, "Oh, you're a celestial." And I went, "Oh my God, I don't feel like I'm a celestial. I could use some of that mojo down here right now." But so that was kind of cool. And then Colleen, Nicole Crone, she
Yeah.
did a natal chart on me because she does astrology. And she did a
Mhm.
full natal chart for like a year on me. And we did it online because I was like, yeah, I don't have anything to hide. We can do it on a show. And so we did it in a live stream where she talked through my chart and everything to show people what they would get if they paid for a natal chart to be done. And so that was kind of cool, you know. And it was and over the years I've had some readings done, but it's 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 been it's been a good minute since I've had just a regular reading. Um,
Yeah.
Mark Stewart was the last one that did a reading on me, and I had won a reading on his channel. He hit a goal or something, and that was one of the winners. And so I won a 30-minute reading, and that was kind of cool because he channeled
Yeah.
for it. And halfway through the reading, he stopped and he says, "Pan says you don't need me to channel for you. You can channel him directly." I went, "Okay, how do I do that?" It's like, I have no idea how to do that. He's like, "Oh, yeah, it's easy." I'm like, "Yeah, so thank you." So I've channeled a few people
Nice.
with one of the girls I practice with, Sylvia from Colorful Foresight. Um, she pushes me to let's do some mediumship. Let's do some mediumship because that's all very new to me, and so
Yeah.
it can be a struggle trying to, as Sun Psychic Jean says, open the flap, let the information in, close the flap when you have enough. It's like, yeah, I have no control over the flap. It opens and closes on its own. And she's like, it just takes time. Don't worry, you'll figure it out. So I was like, okay, that works for me. So yeah, so I'm learning how to operate my flap. It still doesn't work. And still doesn't quite work the way I see it work on other people, but none of us are the same. So I guess, you know, we all do it differently. And that's just the way it is. So um all right, we've chit chatted enough. Everybody's probably bored, tired of hearing me talk. Um and okay. Oh, I forgot he was in the process of transing. That's right. Um and will she be successful in overcoming uh, Asperger's
Hmm.
and do well at college?
Let's
Okay.
see.
Well, right off the top of my head, I heard yes.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
agree.
Beth. Um, I got a new deck of tarot cards. I don't use tarot cards. This is a new deck, so we're gonna
This is
try this out and see how it does. This one's called it's called the Universal Celtic Tarot.
Pretty.
But that's cool. I'm part Celtic, so that works. I'm Scots, Irish, Welsh, English, French, a lot of Celt for me, um, and Cherokee to round it off. Probably have some African American in there too, because one
Yeah.
aspect of the family going back a ways were slave owners. So yeah, I'm sure we probably got a little bit of that in us as well. Like it would be cool if I was from Wakanda, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Um, let's see.
There's a website. Is it called? Is it
Uh,
free? Ask the Cards, I think, and it has a whole bunch of decks online, and you can test out decks before you buy them. I think it's called Ask the Cards. So anyway, they have a ton.
well, I know that I've started doing card flips with all of my decks, where I show each and every card. Usually
Yeah.
runs anywhere between 7 and 15 minutes, depending on the deck. Um, and are you leaving? Okay. Do you need me for something? Oh, okay. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see. Pegasus. I kind of have Asperger's. I've always felt that I had
That's
Asperger's.
okay. All right. Have a good night. He's on his way out to work. You know, that was my son poking his head inside there. I don't know if y'all, well, most of y'all have seen him, but I don't know if y'all saw him that time. Okay, where are we at? Well, can we do well here at college? Did you start reading?
Well, I was saying that I kind of understand Asperger's because I've always felt that I had it, and I'm sensitive to certain foods and crowds, and uh, I don't really like really loud noises unless it's music or something. And so the first thing I got was that to help keep a healthy balance for this for college and to be in the new house with you, to watch the food, make sure that you don't have foods like with lots of additives and food dyes and things like that, and keep a peaceful like essential oils in the house, things that are just, and keep it calm. And within a few weeks, I think she's going to adjust. Um, so you will see that, and helpful people at, because I got the card, helpful people and recovery. So at college, um, there might be groups that she can attend that will help her with that, because now like there's a lot of people that are finding out that they have what they call it, neuro autism, Asperger's, OCD, anxiety. There's a lot of groups now and helpful people that will help
Right.
her out. Yeah.
I mean, my son has adult ADHD, so he has to actually take medication for it,
Yeah.
uh, and yeah, so plus he has PTSD on top of it from the military. But
Oh gosh.
so I get it. I've had a couple of family members that have either been autistic, fully all out autistic, or have had Asperger's, and I know with a lot of them, especially with Asperger's, it's the socialization element
Mm-hmm.
that tends to be the real hang up, because they don't know how to react in a social situation, or uh, they don't quite know how to handle a situation where in anything can happen. So
Mm-hmm.
it, I mean, just from personal experience, read up on it, find out all the little glitches in and out that can happen, and uh, just let her know that she's not being judged by you, and there's bound to be an organization on campus for the LGBTQ students, and or students that deal with that deal with Asperger's and different forms of autism and stuff. So, I mean, I know at my university where I work, we now have a program called Project Allies.
Hmm. Okay.
So those of us who volunteer to be a part of that, we go through training on how to provide a safe space for
Yes.
students that are being bullied or harassed. Um, when they first came out with this, like 2 years ago, I went to my then brand new boss who had just started working, and I said, "Look," I said, "we're in computer science. We deal with students from all over the world. Most of them come from cultures that it's a death sentence if they came out. And
Yeah.
so I want to be able to be one of those people that provides a safe space for them to come. Even if they're not being harassed, if they just feel like they need somewhere to decompress for a few minutes, I want them to know they can go to Miss Sherry's office and just hang out. And they're
Yeah.
cool."
That's really good.
And he was like, "That's fabulous, fantastic, go do it." So
Hmm.
I've been through the training twice. I took it twice. And I have a special sign on my door so that anybody that walks by knows they can come there. And I do have a handful of students that, a lot of times they'll pop in, they don't want anything, they don't need anything. They just want to come sit for a little bit and just,
Hmm.
do whatever on their phone or something. And I'm totally cool with that, And I mean, unless I get like a business call in or something that, needs to be a little private and I have to ask them to step out. Most of the time it's just me working on the computer, and
Yeah.
I'll sit and chit chat with them. So I think that helps them in a lot of respects better than anything else, simply because they're getting that safe space to function in. Um,
I agree.
and I've met Cami in person.
Hmm.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. I was about to say young man again, but she's a young woman now. Um, uh, just a lovely young person. Very polite, very well mannered, um, very respectful, and that is like rings all the bells in my book.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah. There's
uh,
got to be, like you said, there's got to be some safe spaces. I think every college now has some safe spaces and groups and amenities for the LGBTQ, LGBTQ plus and for neurodivergent students. So there's got to be, I know that there has to be. Um,
unless you're in Florida.
yeah, that's true. Yep. That is not
um,
good.
but
Yeah.
so yeah, have her check into
Mhm.
go to the Office of Diversity on campus and find
Neat.
out what kind of programs that they offer, what kind of support programs do they have. Um, I know one of the little things that we do at our university during finals week is we bring in support dogs
Hmm. Oh,
to the
that's cool.
library. There'll be anywhere from 5 to 10 dogs that'll come hang out in the library for students to just come by and sit with a dog and hug on it and love on it and have the dog hug and love on them and for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and it kind of like reinvigorates them to get up and go deal with the next final they got. And that's really successful.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
and that's a good program to start up if your university doesn't have that. Maybe go talk to somebody and say, "Hey, I thought about bringing in support animals during finals week. It could make a big difference." And they saw statistically, they saw a difference in test scores after we started doing that.
Hmm.
And
Oh, that's good.
so that's cool. Anyway, did you finish reading? Because I interrupted you and went off on a tangent.
I think that's, yeah, pretty much everything you said. Helpful people at school, recovery. So it says there will be a recovery. Meditation brings answers, balance. I really think that sounds like what you're doing. I think you're afraid that there's going to be a repeat of what happened, and you said in the first time she was at school, what, last year. But I think it's actually going to work out better. I feel that there's a much calmer atmosphere, and she's feels much more supported. So just continue to do what you're doing. I think it's going to work out. Like Sherry said at the very beginning, she heard yes. I did too. So I think everything's going to be fine. Um, a lot of students have trouble the first year of college too. It's kind of a like a hit or miss thing. So I think she's going to be fine. I really feel that. I think it's going to these first 2 weeks are going to be a little rough, and then it's going to even out after that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely.
hi, Erin.
Okay, starting up, I started out with the Eight of Cups, which is talking about wanting to withdraw. How do they put it on here? Retreating, withdrawal. It can be very overwhelming in school. So that makes a student want to pull back, kind of go back in. Um, but then that's followed by the Magician, which is focused creativity. And um, I know she was operating the camera the day that we all met, taking pictures of us, because I took them over to the swamp, so they could see a real swamp and everything. We just didn't see any gators that day. But she did a really good job and took some good pictures. So um, I don't know if that's a talent that she wants to pursue, but there's creativity in her. I've seen it. Um, and then followed up by the Nine of Cups, where they talk about good health, bringing abundance in. That goes right along with what Amy was saying about healthy foods. What are you eating? That can have a real effect on how you physically and mentally feel about stuff. If you're not eating well or hydrating yourself, it can have a really adverse effect. She's wanting to write. Okay, well, that's a very, very big form of creativity. It's something that most people do on their own. Most people who have Asperger's or autism, they usually do that kind of work where it would be something done creatively by themselves. Um, and then I pulled from Whispers of the Ocean Oracle, I pulled gentle moderation, where it says for her to take her time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you were trying to accomplish. The writing is very small on here. Um, so yeah, those are what walruses. So it's very important to moderate yourself, moderate what kind of stimuli is coming in. You have too
Yeah.
much of that computer stuff hitting at you, it can get you all kind of, So maybe learning some good meditation techniques or just relaxation techniques would help. And then I pulled from the Oracle of the Fairies, uh, Hidden Depths,
Oh,
which
nice.
talks about something hidden is about to come to light, which
Oh,
I think
wow.
is true with her transformation.
Yeah.
Um, um, Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what hiddens, we can become free. I mean, what she's decided to do, thank you, Peg.
Mm-hmm.
What she's decided to do by going through with transgendering, it takes a lot of guts, a lot of
Yeah.
guts. Um, and it's hard to reset yourself when you're doing that. Um, I actually went to high school with a guy, great big football player looking type of guy, big burly, muscular dude. And about a year after graduation, after he graduated, because he was a grade ahead of me, but we had been in a couple of classes together. I don't know. About a year after he graduated, I was at a arts and crafts fair with my mother, who was there with her quilting stuff. And we ran into each other, and I almost didn't recognize him because he was like halfway through the process of transing over to a woman. I had never met anybody transgender before that I was aware of. And and it just really, at first I was like, the first thing I thought of was, you're awfully big and burly to turn into a woman. But then I thought, I've seen big and burly women, so that's that's a false narrative. I thought, yeah, why not? And he was so tickled that I didn't immediately shun him for him telling me that, that uh, it meant a lot to him. And so I've always liked to think that,
Yeah.
that particular day we were meant to meet face to face for him to get a little bit of of comfort in what he was doing. Because we're talking back,
Yeah.
that was a really scary time to do something like that. It was, you really just didn't hear of people doing that back then. I mean, you read it in
Hmm.
the news, you saw it on a TV show, that was it. So I think she's going to be fine, Peg. I really do.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, when I first read the question in the beginning, I heard quite clearly, yes, she's going to be fine. But there are steps she can take to make everything easier.
Yeah.
Most good universities, whether if they're public or private, they're going to have an office of campus diversity that's going to help them help students that are kind of in that in between world step over from one place to another and get comfortable, with other people around them, maybe in the same kind of situation. Uh, so anyway, I hope that helped. I hope that resonated. I tend to, I apologize. I'm in like a really talkative mood today, and I'm just running off at the mouth. Um, Hi, Fatima. Hi, Jessry. If y'all have a question, um, please feel free to put it in, and we're going to answer them. We'll do a political question. Amy's better at those than I am, but we'll do that. We'll do personal questions. What, whatever you're up for. Uh, let's see. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, blue is my favorite color, as if you can't tell looking around me. Um, hi, Marby. I actually did a show with Heather Indigo Jaguar, Intuitive Arts, this morning, where we discussed the color cobalt blue, which was fascinating. I learned so much stuff about it. I had no clue, totally clueless. Um, the things you learn when you Google it.
That's interesting. You know what's interesting about that color right now? I think it's a very healing color and it's calming. Because it was a while
It is.
back and I kept wanting to see that color, like a seafoam green, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And it was on some cards that I had. I wish I had those cards with me. But there's something about that, and I'm hearing more people talk about that sort of shade of blue that's very oceany, very calmy, and I just think that's needed. It's like a healing, peaceful, and we're all so stressed out right now. There's something about that in the angelic realm that is trying to cross over to us to help us out. Um, yeah.
That's it. Well, I know we discussed cobalt. Now, I love jewel tones. Those are
Yeah.
my colors. The
Be
greens, the
like
blues, the
that.
reds, the
Yeah.
golds, the maroons. Anything that's a jewel tone color, I am drawn to. Um, most of my cards that I get are all very color saturated.
Hmm.
They're very um they're very vibrant. They're vibrant in their colors, like what you were showing up. Now I do have some cards that are more on the pastel side because sometimes
Yeah.
you need the pastel colors as a calming effect. But yeah, I'm really into the really deep jewel tone type colors, and blue's my favorite color. And I learned a lot. I mean, I didn't even realize cobalt is made from sea glass.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Even in
either.
the ocean,
It's
I had
interesting.
no clue. And it does, part of its properties, part of its healing properties is bringing calmness and regeneration. You have
Hmm.
to be careful that it doesn't deplete your energy,
Hmm.
but usually it will help to energize you, and it will help you to focus creatively on whatever you're working on. So I was like, wow, that's so cool. I never knew that. And there you go, Aaron. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was sharing on Heather's channel this morning. I remember my grandmother had Avon had done a series of like Depression era glass, and one was red and one was blue.
Hmm.
And I think later on they did a green one too. I don't remember, but I remember my grandmother had like a setting in the blue and a setting in the red that was like up in the china cabinet. We didn't eat off of them; they were just to look at.
Yeah.
It's like, why buy it if you're not going to use it? But that was my thinking then. Now I get it. Okay, you
Yeah.
want it to look nice. So yeah.
My grandmother
Okay.
had that bubble glass. It kind of had like it looked like pebbles, and it was. I
Yeah,
think she
that's
got it like
that's kind
cobalt
of the
blue.
depression glass era.
Yeah.
It came out right around the same time. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if the bubble glass was actually called depression era glass, but it was like came out right in the same era.
Hmm.
And then, of course, by the time my time came along in the '60s, um, you saw a lot of people that had those kind of dishes. I always thought it was cool because they were you could see through them.
Yeah, that is
They were
cool.
colored, but you could see through them. And
Hmm.
and I always thought that was kind of a cool thing. You got it, Fatima. I got you started, babe. Um, and and I've always loved that shade of that shade of blue. It's
Yeah.
always been very again, it's that jewel tone. I like that bright, vibrant. Blue's just always spoken to me. It's like
Hmm.
blue gets my attention. Um,
I wonder if that's part of your, like you said, you're in the before times. There's probably some energy to that where that's your healing energy. I think
I never even thought about that.
there's got to be something to. Maybe it's like a water. You had a water energy in your, so you're part of the water element of the universe. I think.
Yeah, well, I'm Gemini, so I'm air,
Oh, okay.
but I'm an Aquarius moon,
But that
and
would,
I'm an
yeah,
Aries rising. So, but
interesting.
I, uh, I've always loved the water.
Hmm.
From as early as I can remember, I could swim. I mean, my brother and I are both like fish in the water, which was wild because my mother was terrified of the water. She didn't
My
eat
mom
out.
too. That's interesting. Yeah, my mom was
She
too.
would
She
walk
didn't like the
just to
water.
walk at the beach, and as high as her ankles would make her
Mhm.
panic. I mean, she didn't like going in the water. Whereas my brother and I, you couldn't keep us out of the water. And
Yeah.
hi, J Cat Lady. If you have a question, put it in, darling. Um, we're just kind of hanging and chilling tonight, doing our thing. Okay. Perret had a question, a
Okay.
message from her guides. Okay, we can do that. Is there a particular direction you want us to look at, or just whatever comes up? Yes, I'm learning that, Aaron. Our moon signs are just as important as our sun sign. And the fact that my sun and my moon are both air signs is really kind of cool. And then my son is an Aquarius. That's his
Hmm,
sun sign. Is an
interesting.
Aquarius.
Well, they're the
I,
water bears, so that makes sense. And I bet you guys were together in that realm. I bet you anything, and your brother too.
And my husband was also a Gemini.
Oh,
Our
interesting.
birthdays were a week apart. I mean, 6 years apart, but we were only a week apart. He
Hmm.
used to laugh and say, between the two of us, we had 4 people living together. So, yeah, that's about right. Um, and oh, Aaron, that's cool. Old glass. Yeah, I have some of my grandmother's milk glass,
Oh yeah, those are cool.
authentic milk glass. Um, which I don't even set it out anymore. I'm so scared it's going to get broken, which is a shame. I need to get maybe a glass fronted cabinet or something where the cat can't get in it, knock stuff over. Um, like I can't bring my plants in the house; she'll bring them out of the planter. It's
Yeah.
like, now look, I don't let her box stay out of my plants, so I have to leave them outside. Um, okay, Jess, your sun sign is Aquarius. Your moon is Taurus. What is Taurus? Is Taurus what? Air,
It's
Earth?
it's Earth.
It's Earth. I know
Yeah.
nothing about astrology, so I'm probably totally wrong. Um, if you're ready, go ahead and read. Uh, do your thing. I'm
Right.
still shuffling and talking.
Oh, Purette,
I'm going to mute so I won't interrupt.
okay. Well, Purette, I got something. Well, I got the Sun card. Enjoy success and happiness, and then take time to pamper yourself and or let others take care of you. So I think there's something, and they're both very similar in the with the yellow and that sort of sunny, honey colored something about abundance, sun, enjoy success and happiness. So they're something that you're doing will turn out well. Um, be brave and honest, night. See your seeds grow. And star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. So maybe you're writing, or you have to. Is there something that you want to say? Um, I feel like you're afraid to take a step forward with some sort of project or something that you need to tell somebody. I feel like it's more of a project. Take time to pamper yourself or let others take care of you, son. Enjoy success and happiness. I feel like you need to not stress about things and just allow that feeling of success come in and know that the outcome is going to be good and allow others to give you compliments. I think that's what it is. You need to allow other people to give you compliments and just be brave. Be brave and honest. Don't be afraid to say how you feel. So if it is something like writing, just let it out. Let it out. Try not to self edit. Go ahead, Sherry.
All right. Well, I pulled from Oracle of the Seven Energies. This is a really cool Oracle deck. I like this one. And the first one I pulled is called Beautiful Uncaging. I mean, look at that giant heart with a keyhole in the middle. It says you're being called to assess where guilt is playing a part in your life, recognize how it's affecting you and others, and address it so you can release it yourself from its grip. Guilt is a very powerful thing, whether if it's called for or not. Um, so it's really important, and we're coming up on a new moon. That's a good time to put your intentions out for new pathways of where you want to go forward. Um, New moon is when you put out the request, and then the full moon that comes after you release it. Um, I think I got that right. Uh, um, so you want to make sure that you sit down and you figure out uh, what it is that you think may be holding you back. Um, and how how can you release it and just let it go? Because it's just gonna get harder for you to move forward if you're still hanging on to old crap. Um, it talks about guilt is a powerful emotional state. Yes, very much so. Um, it can feed a self-sabotaging cycle that fosters codependency and a distorted sense of personal power. Um, can also create a really low self-esteem, make you feel like you're not worthy of being loved or you're not worthy of friendship when you are. And this is just spirit's way of reminding you, let it go, uncage that, set it free, and move forward because you are more than ready for those aspects. And then the other card I pulled is called Call of the Muse.
Hmm.
And it says that when this card comes up, that means you're being invited to create, to be the to be the artist of your life, the choreographer of your life. Um, you serve spirit. We all serve spirit, and so part of our being, why we're here, and what we're doing, is all in service to spirit and to those around us. And it's very hard to expect people to love you if you don't love yourself. That's, I mean, granted, that meaning is not exactly with this card, but just looking at this and then looking at the heart that was next to it, I'm really feeling like what it's trying to say to us is let go of the old crap. It doesn't matter. Let it go. Just let it go. Just like Frozen. Queen Elsa says, let it go, let it go. Um, and lean into your creativity. What is it that you want to do? Um, do you sing? Do you write? Do you dance? Um, uh, do you have a channel that's very creative? It took me quite a while to realize that what I'm doing is creative. At first, I didn't think of it that way, and I thought, well, I don't really do anything. I'm just reading cards, and somebody said you are doing things because you're interpreting the message, and that's a form of creativity. And I was like, I never quite thought of it that way. So, um, yeah, I mean, just take some of that time, take some quiet time, and figure out what it is that you feel called to do. We all feel called to do different things for different reasons. And the sooner we let go of the old, the sooner the new can come in. We can't get the new in until we get the old out of the way. And okay. Anyway, I hope that resonated with you, Perrette. Um, all right. Jessry, I would love to have a message from spirit guides. What is ahead for me this month? Please and thank you. You are very welcome. Okay, make sure I haven't missed anybody's questions. And just so y'all know, next up is Fatima, Marby, and then Aaron. So that's who's waiting their turn. You're welcome, Perrette. Um, let's see.
Just read. This is spirit guides. September.
Okay, again, they're telling me wrong deck. Go ahead and go if you're ready. Don't wait on me.
Okay.
I'm sitting here and I go to reach for the cards and I hear wrong deck.
Oh. Well, this came out twice. The card for healing. You can see, and it is that sort of, well, it's green, and that would be Archangel Raphael with the heart chakra. Healing. So if you haven't been feeling good, you are getting help from your guides and angels on how to self heal you or be guided to doctors. And it could be emotional healing too. It could be financial healing. It could be relationship healing. But I do think it's also, if you've had any feelings lately, because I got self acceptance of not feeling good about yourself. And hey, we've all been there. Um, and they want to heal the perception that you have about your body, who you are, what you've been through. There's also a card about ideas and inspiration. And so I think a lot of people in the chat tonight are creative people and a lot of writers. And because I keep getting that. So, like you said, this is creative too. But ideas and inspiration. And that's also inspiration given to you by your guides and angels on how to heal or how to heal your finances or anything that's bothering you. We just had that full moon, and I don't know about you, but like I had major, I was like up and down emotionally, you know. A lot of people were tired. So, ideas and inspiration. They're with you. Your guides and angels are with you, and they're trying to help you. I think it's a lot about self acceptance of things in your life, the way you feel about yourself, if you feel certain ways about your body. And they just want you to be gentle with yourself. Um, Things are coming in divine timing. So I think this month of September is kind of one of those in between months where we're going to get a lot of stuff done, and October is going to feel a lot better. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hi, Teresa. Nice to see you. Pisces greeter. Hugs to you. Um, okay, from the Healing Waters deck, I pulled Bounteous.
Good.
Guess I could try to hold that card straight, huh? It says, generously given, relationships coming together. I think this is just Spirit's way of letting you know that you have wonderful relationships with people, whether if it's family, friends, coworkers. Um, People truly care about you, and they care about what you think. And I think that they look at you and they see spirit within you coming out. Is what I'm getting. Um, and because of that, they can generously give back to you, maybe in ways you don't even realize. A lot of times, we're given things generously and have no clue that we've even been given anything because we're not watching for that. Um, and then from the Oracle of the Fairies, I pulled music, which that really hits home because I love music. And it just says, listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. This is very true. Um, Depending on what kind of music you listen to, will depend on if you're ready to get up and go and do things. Oh, look at that, baby. Or if you're going to relax. I mean, there's music you listen to that helps you relax or helps you sleep. There's music that revs you up and gets you going. You want to go dance. You want to go do things. I know when I clean house, honey, I got rock and roll blasting out because that gets me up and running. So music can bring emotions to the surface sometimes that you don't even know you have. Listening to a brand new, say, classical music piece that maybe you've never heard before. Some people might think, well, I'm not into classical music, but it's amazing if you sit down and just listen to it. The emotions that it can draw out of you just from the music of it is truly phenomenal. So I think it all ties together. Your relationships, the way you're able to help others, how bountiful you are. how bountiful you give to others, and that you have music to help guide the way. Just keep listening to the music in your life. What is your baby's name?
And it's Kiaran.
What's his name?
Kiaran. It's kind of
Keon.
Irish. Yeah, he's a little
Oh,
Irish.
okay. See, I heard you
Oh,
say something and I had to come running. Well, Mama, somebody's talking about me. Um, but yeah, that's what. Just listen for the music. Listen to the beat of the music. Um, oh, that's cool. That's cool, Jessry. All right. Um,
oh yeah.
okay. And hi, Carolyn. And let's see. Okay, for anybody new coming in, if you want a reading, put your question in. And we're just doing a little bit of everything, whatever comes up. Okay, Fatima, your turn. Oh, you got a picture with you now. Last time I saw you didn't have a picture. Or did you? And I just didn't notice. Sometimes I don't notice. Sorry. Um, Message from Spirit Guide. If there is time, there's always time for message from Spirit. At least in my book.
Fatima or Fatima? I grew up Catholic, and I heard a lot about Fatima or Fatima.
Fatima, yeah.
Yeah,
When I first saw her, when she first started showing up in chat, I was calling her Fatima. And then I
yeah,
thought about it and I said, wait a minute, do you pronounce it Fatima or Fatima? Because Fatima is a place and it's
that's true. Yeah,
more it's Catholicism. Um, but I know that there's Fatima or names. Um, South or Central American, isn't it? Fatima, or am I like way off and I'm thinking of something
actually,
else?
maybe it's Italy. Yeah, Our Lady of Fatima. Yeah, I remember that story. I had to learn all about that. Um,
That's it. All right.
okay, is it Italy? It might be Italy. Oh,
Now,
Portugal. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. That's good. Right.
because wasn't Fatima where the children were that
Yeah,
that had the visit from Mary, from Mother
I think so.
Mary? Okay, I thought it was Fatima.
It's. I remember it scared me because it was so serious and it terrified me. I don't know why, but it terrified me because it said the earth would burn and if we didn't do all these things, all these horrible things were going to happen, and I was really terrified. But
I still wonder what the third message was because it's never been
oh,
released. It
oh,
wasn't released when it was supposed to be released.
interesting.
And oh, from the Azores Islands. Wow, that's cool. I love meeting people from different places. One of the things I love about my job on campus is I get to meet kids from all over the world. Nothing is better than to sit down with them and say, well, what is your culture like? Well, what do y'all do for this? What do y'all do for that?
Yeah,
And at
that is
first they
cool.
looked at me like I was some kind of a nut. And
Hmm.
then they realized, oh, Miss Sherry's serious. She really wants to know. I'm fascinated by it. So um, let's see. Let's see. What have we got? Do you want to go? You can.
You go first. You
Okay.
go first.
I pulled from the Healing Waters Oracle. The first thing I pulled was the sirens.
Hmm.
And it talks about use your voice, expansion, freedom. Um, Using your voice can accomplish so much, not just to help yourself, but to help others. Um, so they're telling you sirens, listen for the sirens, use your voice, because your voice may be a siren to someone else to help guide them in the right direction. Um, then I pulled the wishing well, which talks about unexpected gifts, kindness, karmic jewels.
Hmm.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. Karmic jewels. Because most of the time when we say, well, karma's going to get them, it's done in a negative way. We forget that it can also be in a positive way. And I think the term jewels with this is kind of steers you in that direction that a lot of times your karma can be very good because it's coming back tenfold what you've put out, it's coming back again. And I think your guides just want you to know that with all that you give and all that you offer others, you're going to get back. You probably already get back, and maybe don't even realize it. And then the last card, which kind of ties it all together, is the pearl. I love this because pearls are my birthstone. Um, it says alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. What an awesome way to put that. Because a pearl is developed through grit that gets into an oyster's shell. Then they sit and they work it, work it, work it, work it, work it until a pearl is formed, which is really cool. But it starts with sandy grit that gets into the shell and irritation.
Hmm.
But the reward is at the end when you get this beautiful. And I think that's just Spirit's way of reminding you that despite all the grit that you've been through in your life, you've had to work it, work it, work it. And now you've gone from the grit to the grace. Um, there may still be things that are gritty that you're dealing with, but in the end, it's going to bring you grace. You have the cutest puppy dog. Oh my God,
Thank you.
I'm
Mm.
I'm I'm very animal centric.
Me too.
Okay, your turn. I hope that resonated with you, Fatima.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Sherry went first because I had cards that, they seemed,
Didn't make sense.
yeah, they kind of, I didn't quite resonate with them. But then I got these other, I pulled out these past life cards, and I feel like it's more for now. And especially just seeing the comment that Fatima wrote about, I had a job for a week, got let go. They were training someone else behind my back. So I got the card for finances. And so that made me wonder about if you're worried about finances. And then I got the card for mother. And I thought, well, that's interesting because we just talked about Mother Mary in connection with her name. And then
Yeah,
baby. So what I feel like is that your mother is watching over you if she's on the other side. She is worried about your finances, but she's going to help guide you to a better job. And that's probably what a lot of this was that job wasn't right for you. And she wants you to be happy where you are and not feel stressed out, not feel like you're going to lose your job, every time you go in and have to be worried about that. She's going to help guide you to a job where you're secure, divine timing and miracles and blessings. So, I mean, I really feel if your mother's not on the other side, there's some maternal, maybe Mother Mary, and helping you out. So there's a very strong connection there where you are being helped and guided to another job that's going to be more secure and you're going to have better finances. And yeah, so try not to worry about it too much. You're definitely being watched over and helped.
oh yeah, very much so. I'm um I felt that from the first time I met her, in the chat what a month ago. And I felt it. You could just feel it coming off of her
Yeah.
that you're in the process of some amazing stuff that's coming forward for you. Um
Oh,
oh,
so
she says her
yeah.
mother passed away.
Okay.
That's hard. Yeah, I lost my mom just before the big C hit. Um
Oh gosh. Mm.
and that was difficult. It really was, because we were very close. And although when I was a teenager, she probably wanted to kill me most of the time because, teenagers, we know everything. That's
Of
just the way
course.
we're made. Okay, Marby, you're next. Let's see. What do my guides want me to know? Well, let's see what we got.
Let's do these. Let's see. Help me pick a card. You going to help me? Marby.
Having to shuffle around the dog.
Yeah, you had to sniff a few for me to help me out there.
When we first got the cat, or when she found us, I should say, she fit in my hand. She was so tiny, and I don't even think she was fully weaned yet. But she found us, and we took her in. And anytime I would get up here with my cards or to do readings, she wanted to come lay right here on my chest, watch everything I do. And when I was telling you about, I had won a free reading with Mark, Spirit Whisperer. Well, he's kind of like our very own Dr. Doolittle, talks to the animals. And the minute that she heard his voice, when we got on that call together, she jumped up and watched him the whole time. It was like she knew,
You must have that energy. That's really cool.
And she definitely rules the roost. The dogs are terrified of her.
Have you ever seen those YouTube videos where the dog won't go past the cat? You're like, you're a big dog. You can't.
The dog is like one bite and the cat would disappear, but he's not going to even.
And real quick to Fatima about you having to pay sibling for the house. I think you're being guided to the situation's going to work out. Make sure you get the title. Make sure that if you pay for that house, you make sure you get the title. And then perhaps you can, I don't know if you can get equity out of it, but you could talk to the lender. I feel like you are definitely being guided to good opportunities, and it's going to work out. I know it's stressful right now, so I leave that alone. All that fun stuff.
All right. Are you done?
Well, that was for you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still using Healing Waters. It seems to be the deck I'm being told to use tonight. The first card I pulled is called Planetary Wave. Soul Mission, Trust the Inner Call, Soul Team. So you're being reminded to call on your soul team. You have your own team. We all do. Of our guides, our ancestors, our family and friends here in the real world, that all kind of work together to help us be able to create and live in a more divine state as spirit leads us along. And then I pulled the Water Oracle. It says you have psychic abilities. You need to act on visions. And that's part of your destiny, is to continue to grow your psychic abilities, continue to grow your visions, by allowing them to come and then trying to interpret them. My mother used to get visions, and it really bothered her. She didn't like it at all. Then the last card I pulled for you says, she who flows, ease, being open to change, just go with the flow of life. And I think that's pretty much, with your psychic abilities, you kind of learn to go with the flow, because you never know what's going to come out, what's going to hit you. Um, and of course, we started out with, trust that inner voice, trust that inner calling of what spirit is telling you. Let your psychic abilities continue to grow. Um, and it may be in little baby steps and maybe in big giant leaps. It's different for everybody. But the whole point is to be open to it, be willing to just roll with it, just go with the flow. Um, that can bring you more peace than anything else. It's just learning to go with that flow. And that's it. I'm done.
I love the colors in the cards. They're so pretty.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah, that's really pretty. It has that ocean.
That's who did this one? Rebecca Campbell did this deck. Um,
By the
did you
way,
already read? Or are you
no,
reading that?
I was
Oh,
going to read real quick, and I got something. It's like a whole different aspect, but I can see how it fits in. But I was going to say real quick, Sherry, have you ever thought? And I love you have such beautiful hair. But have you ever thought about putting a streak of blue like on the side of your hair, which are like temporary?
I've thought about it, but it won't stay in.
Oh, it won't stay in.
The
Okay.
gray will not hold color anymore. I lost the battle of the gray uh, right around the time I turned, just before I turned 50. Um,
It's
it
really
just
pretty.
quit. I would go to get my hair colored to the brown that it naturally was.
Mm.
And when they would do the initial rinse out, no, it was white. I
Well,
still
I was
have a couple of brown streaks in there down deep that if
yeah.
it's wet, you can see them, but it won't hold color. I mean, the last time I went to have it colored, they literally gave me my money back and said,
Oh my goodness.
don't bother.
You
Well,
must not
now,
have any pores.
now I get people asking me, what color do you use on your hair? And it's like,
It's
it's
really
natural.
pretty.
I use purple shampoo to brighten it up,
Do you
but
know
it's
who Monique
white and
Parent is?
gray. And then when I hit 60, it started turning blonde.
Yeah, it's like platinum. I
It
would
was
call it
like,
platinum.
go figure. When I was 15, I would have killed to have been a blonde. Tried to be a blonde and turned my hair bright orange.
Oh
Um,
no. You know
but
what? I know what that is. Oh my god, I just got this. That's the same thing. Remember I was talking about how okay, you're from the before times and you have that water energy and you have that blue. Your hair is there's something about your energy that's really mixed in with that um, galactic. You have almost like crystal energy, water, something about water or crystal energy, and your hair is part of that. Your hair is like
oh
it
yeah,
has some sort of healing. It's weird, I know, but it has some sort of healing, and it doesn't want it to be effed with because it's like really pure and it has a lot of energy, and that's why it's not holding on to dyes. Because it's
into
almost
any
like
colors.
a light. It's like
'Cause I've
light.
thought about it. It would be cool if I could put like a streak in it or something just to be
Mm-hmm.
wild, but it won't take. So
Mm-hmm.
just
They
I
have
quit trying.
clip-ins. You could get like a clip-in, but of course, but you know, have you ever seen Monique Parent? She's a YouTuber and she has silver hair. The chick, it's like platinum silver, like yours.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
look her up. Monique Parent. She's an actress and she's
I
been,
think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, she's really cool. I love her.
Well, I
All
know
right,
I
well, I'll
only
go.
use Pantene on it
Oh, nice.
because I get the best results with that. And pardon me, my alarm just went off. It's time to take my medicine. But
Okay.
I took it early, so I don't have to worry about it. Um, I forgot to turn the alarm off. And hi Kiba. And hi Robin. And uh, uh, gray hair. Oh, and I buy a purpling shampoo for blonde, platinum blonde hair.
Hmm.
They don't make silver shampoo anymore. And it's
Hmm.
another weird brand. I don't even know what brand it is. But it's the purpling shampoo. So I use it. I figure, okay, if I'm stuck with it, let's make it as white as I can make it.
Do you remember
And
Wella?
the best I can. So
Do you
yeah,
remember the Wella dyes like they'd have at the store? And it would my mother would buy this because when her hair turned gray, she would get Wella the red or the blonde, and it would be you would just pour it on your hair. It was like a wash-in. It was really stinky. Do you
I
remember
think
that?
I
It was
know
like a
what you're
big
talking
bottle,
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
sell it anymore, but I remember that.
I don't either. I don't know. I don't even think about it really anymore unless somebody asks me about what color
Yeah.
did you put in your hair. It's like nothing. It's it's just the way it is. Um, so, but I've gotten used to it now. I like the color.
Yeah, it's
I
really,
used to
really
have a
pretty.
really short pixie cut, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Allie's hair. Used to be real short. And then when the big C hit and we went into lockdown, couldn't get your hair cut and it started growing out. And I was like, well, I miss it being long. So I just let it keep growing.
Nice.
And so about every 4 or 5 weeks, I go get it trimmed. Otherwise, it's like really, really, really thick. So you can wash it in the morning. And if I don't use a hair dryer, it takes all day to dry.
Oh my goodness.
That's how thick it is. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you again. Boy, I'm like squirreling all over the place today.
It's all right. Well, Marvy, I got something about spouse and forgiveness, um, lessons and blessings. So I don't know if you've had trouble with an ex or if it's your a current husband or a husband that's passed on, but something that you need to forgive. Persecution and inquisition. So maybe you felt persecuted by him. Maybe it's a past life thing. So I think there's some issues there where you still haven't forgiven someone in your life and it's still holding you back. Um, you're ready for a change of scenery. And look at the orange. Okay, you are ready for a change of scenery, explore, put on your dancing shoes, or walk along the beach. We encourage you to move. So there's something about where you need to take back some power for yourself. And that would be, I think that's the base chakra is the orange. And
Yeah, I
that's a
think you're
lot of,
right.
yeah, it's a lot of confidence, feeling good about yourself, and just taking some initiative to take care of yourself and be happy and move around, dance. Don't feel like you, I don't know. I just feel like there's something where you were told something that held you back and you haven't forgiven them for saying it. I don't know. I could be way off here.
Well,
Ex-boyfriend.
she said
Okay, there
something
we
about an
go.
ex-boyfriend,
Ex-boyfriend.
so
Yeah.
you could be right on target there. Oh,
Yeah, there's something about where they said or they did something and it really hurt you and it's still holding you back. So I know it's hard to forgive. Like I have not forgiven my father yet for things that he did. It's really, really hard for me, but I know that forgiveness is about setting ourselves free. It's not about excusing other people for things they've done to you, but it's about like getting yourself free from what they did to you because then you can move on. You know, it's more for you. So you didn't deserve it. I do think there's a past life connection where he persecuted you in the past. You probably were married in the past, in a past life. And he came back to teach you a lesson about your self-worth. So you have to get that back. He tried to take it from you again. And you need to go out and dance. You need to take back your power. That's what I'm getting.
call on your god, call on your goddess. So
Yeah, there
let's
you
do it.
go.
Let's go and do it. All right. Next up, we've got Aaron. Will I get better at my new job? Yes, you will. I heard that right off. Yes. Um, remember with a new job to be willing to absorb everything everyone tells you. Even if you already know how to do it, most people generally help a new employee do well. And I think that if somebody tried to tell you something in spite to make you look bad, I think you would know it. You would feel it. At least that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm picking up. Um, but let's see what we draw here. Ooh, these are some good ones. Okay, the first one I pulled is called Let It Rain, allowing what is, inevitability, trust. So again, it's that allowing what is. It's allowing those that are around you that are trying to help you do a better job. Let them do it. Don't. If you get two people that tell you two different things, don't argue one with the other. Maybe check with your boss and say, would you prefer if I did it this way or that way? And then that way, he knows that at least, or she knows that at least you care enough about the job that you're going to go to the main guy and say, hey, how do you want me to handle this? Um, and then I pulled a spell key, which is a of uh, type of seal, and it says, "Come out of hiding, embrace who you really are." I think that if you open yourself up to this job and um, you truly seek to do the best you can do, and you listen to advice and help from others, I think you're really, really going to shine. At least that's what I'm hearing. That if you're going to be like a superstar, you're really going to shine. There may be mistakes along the way, but hell, we're human. We all do that. And then the last one I pulled is called the Sacred Well: replenishment, self care, giving from a place of plenty. This is a very pregnant lady, and but it's important to take care of yourself. It's important to take that lunch break, even if you feel inclined to stay at your desk and keep working. You need that break. You need to walk away 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is you get for lunch, and just clear your brain, clear your mind so that when you come back afterwards, you're in a mindset where you're ready to go again and new information can get processed through. Um, I know when I take my lunch break, I go out to my car, which is usually parked under an oak tree so it's in the shade. I lay the seat back. I take like a 30-minute power nap. And everybody gets the biggest kick because they'll walk by and sit and snore away in the car. I'll have students come by and ask me, "Were you okay, Miss Sherry? You were snoring really loud. The windows rolled down." I'm like, "Yeah, I was just taking a nap. Makes me feel better." So, um, but just little things like that, and take a nap if you can, or go for a walk around the building when you go to lunch. Some people do better doing an, something physical, but just stay open to all that. Um, allow what's allow your trust to come through and embrace who you really are, because you make an impression on people. So, but you be you. Don't change yourself for them.
Yeah.
And Aaron, did you hear the whole thing? If not, you can back it up afterwards. Um, okay, you're on. I'll shut up.
No, that was good because yeah, new job. Um, it's and she said she got nervous, so she's probably nervous about her job and nervous about what the messages were going to be. Yeah, it's quite physically demanding, and I'm not very strong. It's a stagehand job. Wow, that's interesting. Um, yeah. So there's a lot of phobia. This is weird. Now I don't know if this is connected to your name. I see your name, and I think maybe Irish, and the Celtic card came out. So I feel like if that's true, I don't know if you have Irish heritage, but you're you have ancestors that are with you. They're helping you out, and you have magic. The thing about being Irish or Celtic, or they're having any of that sort of innate ancestral. When you're in the proximity, when you're close to that heritage, you still have that magic. You're still tuned into it. You have a lot of phobias. So I don't know if you're scared. of what people are going to think of you if you're going to do something wrong. I kind of see you hesitating a lot. I don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch the ropes on the curtains. I don't want to move this here. They're going to get mad at me. I'm going to mess it all up. You need to sort of sidestep a lot of that and kind of get out of your head, familiarize yourself with the stage, and just kind of lock it in. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. This is where I should be. This is, get yourself in a place where you're very familiar and know that you're going to make mistakes. That's going to happen. Connect with your emotions. Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. I feel like you are very worried right now that you're going to make a mistake. But it says, Lord, take charge with authority. So you have authority. You're new, but you're going to get to the point where people are going to come to you and ask you for help. So yeah, it's quite physically demanding. But I think that what I keep seeing is you sidestepping. It's not that you're going to not have the ability to handle tasks. You're going to be able to delegate and know what you can and can't handle, and just tell people that. Just tell them, I can't handle this big or heavy object here or this big project. You're going to have to delegate, but you have the ability to stay in this job and be an expert in it. I see that you're going to do well. I really think you're going to do well in it. You just have to get past your fears, like the phobias of messing up. You're going to be fine. That's what I'm getting. Overwhelmingly, you're going to be fine. Just hang in there. Sounds like a really cool job. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Stagehand. Yeah, I've actually done a little of that when I was in high school. I was in the drama club, but I did more background stuff, backstage stuff than acting and whatnot. Okay, from Healing Waters, I pulled Plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in.
Mm-hmm.
So just push and go for that. And I think you're gonna do really good at getting better and better at your job. And then I pulled, because as Amy was saying, your name is very Celtic sounding. So I pulled the Three of Cups from my Celtic tarot. And so this is a celebration. This is enjoyment, just having a great time, knowing that you did a really good job and everybody's really pleased with it. And then I ended with the Star, which you can't ask for better than that. I mean, that's hope, that's renewal, that's people look at you and say, yeah, we did a good job picking her because she's a star. And so that's yeah. To me, this just screams success all over the place. So just go for it, and just go for it. Let it, ask questions. I know whenever I train new people, I tell them I'd rather you ask me the same question 50 times and do it right than not ask, and then we have to go in and redo it. Then I get pissed. So come ask me. To me, there's no such thing as a stupid question. So, but it, you don't necessarily have to be the strongest person in the room either to be a good stagehand. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of other things, smaller things that need to be done that may become your forte or what you get known for. Oh, give it to Erin. She can take care of that. She's good at that area, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think, like I said, I immediately heard yes when I read questions. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, you're gonna do great. Yeah. All right, last but not least, wow, we have been on an hour and 45 minutes. I'm so sorry I didn't mean to keep you this long. But we've been having fun, and I've been having a lot of squirrel minutes. I don't know what the problem is. Running off at the mouth today. Robin Smith.
Let's
Will
see
I
what-
find a new place to live by the end of the year? That is definitely a pendulum question. Okay.
Will I find a new place to live? Let's see. Robin.
Will Robin find a new place to live by the end of the year?
Mhm.
Will Robin find a new place to live by the I'm getting a really strong yes.
Mhm.
Back and forth with this one is yes.
Okay.
Try it in another way.
Good
Try
point.
to do it so that I can brace my arm and it's not moving.
Mhm. Mhm.
Will Robin find a new place to live by the end of the year? That's an even bigger yes.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I got December. So I definitely, yeah,
there you go.
I feel that way too.
There you go. I get a very definite yes though.
Mhm.
Um,
Trust, yeah, trust and faith. Trust and faith. It's going to work out.
absolutely.
Mhm. Thank you. She may have to
Absolutely.
deal with some snow, don't you think? I kind of see that there might be a snowstorm when she moves.
Where do you
That could
live,
be,
Robin? I mean, snowstorm?
yeah.
I don't know if I can deal with that. Another reason why I live in the South, as much as I bitch about the heat, I don't think I can handle snowstorms. Uh,
Yeah. These days, you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
well, I tell you what, I mean, we got something that wasn't even named yet 2 days ago that's now a Cat 5 hurricane.
Oh,
They're not
yeah.
quite sure where it's gonna, if it's gonna just ride up the east coast of the United States or if it's gonna get knocked back out into the ocean. And there's like 2 or 3 storms right behind it. I have a
Yeah.
feeling we're gonna get hit hard this year.
Oh, gosh.
It in
I hope not.
In the Gulf area. I don't mean like
Mhm.
necessarily where I'm at, but in the Gulf. I have a
She's,
feeling we're gonna get
mm,
I have a feeling we got a bad storm coming because the water's just too hot. In North Florida. Okay.
yeah,
I
so
used to
probably
live
no
in
snow.
Cobalt Beach, so
Yeah, no snow.
I used to
Most
live in
likely.
Cobalt Beach, so yeah, it's boy, I really miss the beach. um and yeah, I get that you're gonna find yourself a nicer place. It might even be a little cheaper, which would really be nice, I'm sure. I know I wish my place was cheaper.
Yeah,
We
me
moved in
too.
here 2 years ago, August, and I love where I live now. I love the community. Um, I don't love the rent. I wish they would go down on the rent, but
Hmm.
it is what it is. And the real estate is astronomical down here,
Yeah.
which isn't even close to like what they face in the West Coast. But yeah, it's still way too much.
Hmm.
Still way too much. Well, I hope that resonated with you, Robin. And we got everybody. Hi, Starhawk. Hi and bye. Um, we are wrapping things up. Thank y'all for hanging with us so long. Oh my God, an
Yeah.
hour and 50 minutes. I did not mean for us to be this long.
Hmm.
Because
That's
usually
fun.
y'all get bored. So, um, but that's right, Robin. Everything happens at the right time. Just go with the flow. That seems to be the general message we've been pulling tonight is just go with it. And as we get to see Amy's fur baby keep coming back for more. What kind of dog is that?
He's a dachshund mixed with a. It's kind of like a cocker spaniel mixed with a dachshund.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And we have a Dorky. He's a Yorkie, and a Dachshund mix.
Oh, cool.
So he
Yeah.
never shuts up. He barks all the time.
Have you ever
Dachshunds
seen
are
those?
known for their barking.
Well, have you ever seen those pictures of corgis mixed with other dogs? Because, like, you know, the corgi has a real specific look, and it'll be like a corgi mixed with a Doberman Pinscher, and it's like the funniest thing. Like, I saw it and I was laughing because it's like, okay, I wasn't
Yeah, it's
expecting.
like he's got like the chest and the body of a Yorkie, but he's got the little short legs like a Dachshund,
Yeah,
and he's got more of a Yorkie face. Um, but I don't know. He's a unique little dog.
dachshunds are like little family. They're like little humans. They become your family member basically, but they
Oh
have
yeah,
their.
very much so. And then the other dog is a lab mutt mix,
Aw,
who's huge.
I love
It
labs.
sounds like he would eat you for dinner. He's the most lovable chicken I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Scared of everything, but he's
Mhm.
so lovable and just it's like just pet me. And
Yeah.
and the two of them start barking, and oh my god, you can't get them to shut up because if one starts, the other one joins in. It's like enough. Um,
Have you noticed
well,
this?
thank y'all.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, have you noticed how they hear the ring alarm? If you have a ring alarm or alarm on your phone, they know it and they like bark. You're like, hey, you're not supposed to know that. Then you have to go check the
Oh,
door to make sure there's nothing there.
they know what time I'm supposed to get up in the morning, and if for whatever reason my alarm doesn't go off, like if I turned it off because I'm off the next day or something,
Yeah.
they'll let me know within about 15 minutes of what is normal wake up time. I will get the wake up call between the dog and the cat. It's
Yeah,
time to get up,
cats are
mom.
really,
I'm hungry or need to go pee now.
yeah.
They
Yep.
don't waste any time about it. So I've been to St. Augustine, Robin. That's a nice area. Yeah. I went to was it St. Augustine or was it St. Petersburg? They've got like a big fort that was also a prison that was there. I remember we went and visited there one time. It was really cool. But well, thank y'all for coming. Thank you so much for hanging with us for almost 2 hours. Amy, thank you for hanging for two
Thank you.
hours.
Thank you. It was great. And
And
thanks for having me back on.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome anytime. If you ever need a reader, give me a shout. If
All
I
right.
got an open date, I'll come on. We can go
We'll
back
do
and
that.
forth. Um, so y'all have a wonderful Saturday night,
Yes.
and tomorrow is Juno time. Me and Juno will be on tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 for the Destiny cards and Jin Shin Jitsu and an Oracle card read. So we will see y'all tomorrow. You got anything coming up, Amy?
Uh, Tomorrow with Allie. So I think it's probably noon or 1 o'clock, something like that. I'll have to check.
Cool. Y'all check out Amy with Allie tomorrow. So that's Heart and Soul Connected.
Yes.
And make sure you go give them a like. Please go to Amy's channel and give her a like and a subscribe and a share. Um, she's still kind of small and trying to grow, and we need to get her all the subscribers we can. And so share the wealth, let everybody know. Um, thank y'all very much for coming, and I wish everybody a lovely Saturday night. I'm going to go zone out now. Time for the outro clip, and we will see y'all. I'll see a lot of y'all tomorrow. So bye for now.